Well, the release of new surveillance video from inside Robb Elementary causing harsh reactions from all sides. 77 minutes of footage. It shows officers standing in a hallway outside of the classroom where a shooter was killing 19 children and 2 teachers. Uvalde Mayor Don McLaughlin saying at a city council meeting the video was scheduled to be released this weekend, but the premature release from media outlets is, quote, one of the most chicken things I've ever seen. Joining us now is Allie Bradley. She was one of the first reporters on the scene of that tragedy in May. And Allie, of course, we saw some extremely concerning things in this video. Could any of those officers face consequences?
Yeah, that's a big question. It's still up in the air. Who is going to be held accountable for 19 children and 2 teachers losing their lives there? As you saw, nobody really acted. The one gentleman who finally acted wearing the blue gloves there, I'm told, is actually a Border Patrol medic who was kind of calling the shots. Now, I've asked several of my sources, who is going to be held accountable in this setting? Because you don't even see the school district police chief, Chief Arredondo, who has really kind of been the fall guy in all of this. You don't even see him here in this footage. Now, what I'm told is he's on the other side of the classroom there. So some of the sheriffs I talked to said they want to see all of the footage. They want to see people externally entering that building, things like that. But I did ask some of my sources who are sheriffs in the area. I said, when a sheriff is present, which we know that Sheriff Nolasco was present, don't they come in and take over? And he said they should. And in this setting, this sheriff should have taken over according to them. Now, you saw that baton there. That's actually a border agent who entered that building 2 different times. He showed me his baton because the reason is they actually went outside and started bashing out windows to extract children, because he said that when he went in there, there was a heavy enough presence that he wasn't needed inside at that time. So several Border Patrol agents actually went outside and pulled at least 20 children and 2 teachers out using those batons like that. And that other image is one of the windows that they actually broke out. And so that was something that he said he took upon themselves to really go out and do because, quote, no one was really doing anything inside. And we're seeing that. Nobody really did anything. And I wanted to show this video to a parent who has a 3rd grader at that school, who the child actually saw the gunman while he was outside at recess. This is a quote from the father of that student who says, it just looked like a bunch of cowards standing around in the hallway for a long time. I was surprised that so many border agents were in the hallway and took so long to go in. They teach the active shooter course, yet they did not do as you're supposed to. Every single person in that hallway should be held accountable. Again, he is a parent, but he's also a former Border Patrol agent, knows the training that they've gone through. So as you mentioned, I was one of the first ones on scene. This is footage from before there was even a perimeter set up. As I approached the funeral home there were actually troopers with blood still on them. And there was still a scene of uncertainty. A lot of people didn't know what to do. There was no public information officer on scene that I could talk with, so when I asked sheriffs, I said, what do you do from here? How do people in this community reinstill their confidence in law enforcement who could have done something and didn't? And he said, the only way really is to rebuild from the bottom up. There's one of the troopers there. You can see the blood on his shirt. And so what do? Move forward. And he says the only way for people to trust these law enforcement again is to really a complete overhaul, is to bring in all new people. And I said, well, that leaves you really with nobody. And he said he would rather have nobody than a bunch of people standing around doing nothing. These sheriffs tell me that they are taught to run towards the gunfire. We see them as soon as gunfire is set off inside of that room, they retreat. And then they don't make another attempt to go in and rescue those kids. And, we know that parents are upset with the release of this video because they were told that they were going to be able to see it before the public. And this has been almost 2 months, Nichole. So didn't law enforcement also have an opportunity to have those conversations and to sit down with the parents and not be reactionary like what we're seeing and what we've seen really play out amongst these individuals? Yeah, and really, it still leaves so many questions unanswered on what happened that day. All right. Allie, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.